again, I've known you for quite some time. I know you are hot today because I got you all twisted about this Anderson thing.
But I just don't know why you would say something that isn't factually correct.
He's going to be mad at me, too, for like 3 weeks or a month.
It's because each day when we come in, man, you have something that isn't right. Or you get a guy's name wrong. You know, you'll read off, the fight's over the weekend. It was this really great fight. And then you can't even spit the guy's name. And it's like, Joel, there has to be some level of preparedness, but there also has to be when you're there, when you're behind the curtain, you got to know what you're talking about. I mean, I got you to say, recorded earlier today, that Anderson had never ducked a fight. I got you to say 60 seconds later to all of the people, well, yeah, he did that one, but not the other one. It's like, no, wait a second. You just said it didn't happen, and now you're watching television again.
You do make a fair point on this. You kind of got me on that one. But the reality is you're hot because I ruffled your feathers. Now you are going to be hot today, tomorrow, a week later. You're gonna do some slimy stuff to me, and then you're gonna say you're gonna reference this, and then it'll eventually filter off. Now, whereas when I take my beatings, they end at the bottom of the floor. You know, that's just the way that goes. So, yeah, I mean, we're both right. Anderson did run from you. That is true. In his older years, he has been taking these fights. I don't think either one of us thought that he would take the Gastelum fight.
I thought he would take the fight. I didn't think the fight would be offered to, or I wasn't sure if the fight would be offered to him. But no, I didn't think he was gonna publicly deny a fight against a guy that had just called him out. I just thought it was interesting when that debate happened. You bring it up to me in the car, and then you come on and say it in here, and you're gloating. I mean, you wanted to beam over his courage and his willingness that you should know isn't true because you were there for it, but somehow you didn't. And then when I brought it up, like a scumbag, you go, oh, he beat you twice. It's like, man, I'm not contesting that he beat me. The debate here was his willingness that this all go out. I mean, it's been made public that he couldn't get the Jones fight done.
Like a scumbag. The one time you get ruffled up in here, you've got to call me a scumbag. Now, I'm fair game. And for most of the time, I was fair game for a nickel. And now I'm fair game for a dime.
What's that expression mean?
You know, it doesn't have to mean anything.
Well, I need to know what the nickel means.
It doesn't have to mean anything. My point is that...
Why'd you say nickel?
It's a reference to... You run me over all the time, brother. I take it. Yeah, is this part of the gimmick or whatever the hell we're doing in here? Now you want to be real with this thing because you're pissed off. And you want to be real with this thing because you call me a scumbag. Now I'm a scumbag up in here when I got your back every way there is to get your back. And then you want to call me a scumbag because you keep running this thing back and running this thing back. I mean, goddamn, son.
Why'd you say nickel? What did nickel mean in relation to the dime?
I don't know. It was just a point that it could be a nickel or a dime. You're the one running me over all the time, and and a lot of times it is funny, but a lot of times it's not. You know, a lot of times I go home and I'm like, you know what? He didn't have to do that. I mean, we go on a trip together. We have a good time together. There's all sorts of things you could talk about other than humiliating me. Which you think that's fun, and somehow you've convinced me that, hey, it's a part of the show and that people loved it. Man, I don't know about that, but I do know because you're pissed off about a comment that I made about Anderson. You're going to have a field day with it. So go ahead, son, have a field day with it.
I just want to know why you said nickel because I want to get the reference. Is that an expression for something that I don't know?
No, it's something I just said. It just fell out of my face.
Do you think that possibly there's an argument there then to what I'm saying? That if you're going to come on, the buffoon, the barbarian, it's fair that that's what needs to come out because the only other way to go with it, are you a sophisticated, I mean, you come on all the time, you say fighter's name wrong. You get these little details wrong. You said the Anderson thing wrong. I got you to run it back 5 seconds later. So, what do you propose? If we don't go with the barbarian side of Joel, what side do we go with?
I don't really fucking care. Go with any fucking side you want.
Are you going to tell me what nickel means? And I am now sitting in here alone. He not only has stormed out, threw the headphones down, which I will probably be paying for now, and he left the door open. The one thing about he always leaves the door open. He always leaves the door open. We're at a radio station. I don't know how many shows come out of here, but I think if I said 50, that would probably be a very fair guess, including one of the nation's largest shows, which is Lars Larson, who is straight outside this door recording right now. I can see him through his window because the door's open. Oh, and now his producer's looking at me, wondering, somebody needs to shut the door. I can't get up and shut the door. The microphone doesn't extend. All right, thank you. The door's been shut by one of Lars's guys. All right, well, what do we do now that the Barbarian is gone? And, he's not totally off base. I am a bit of a dick to him, without question. But I really don't know what to do. He's not an analyst. So we come on, the show is largely MMA. Now, we go all over the board, but it's largely MMA. We have an MMA audience that we are servicing. So we'll do 80% of whatever's going on in the world of the free format fighting systems, whatever is happening in today's no holds barred. And then we get a little bit off topic. But if I've got a Barbarian in here with me, I'm not wrong to want that side of him to come out. So he gets back, we go on a trip and you come back and you humiliate me. It's like, man, what do you want me to do? You projectile vomited all over the place. They had to bring in a hazmat team. They billed us $500, and now we're doing a show telling people about our trip. What am I supposed to leave that off and talk about the pancakes we had the next day at breakfast? I don't know. I don't know the answer to it. If you got a maniac and you find the fact that that's the most interesting part about him, I think you got to bring him on and have him be a maniac. And I will let you all know, in addition, that I really could swim that fast. And I'm willing to prove it. And I don't even know that it's all that great of a skill. I don't know where in life I would ever need to jump in the water and swim at a fast pace. But I could. And I could also teach that crummy baseball player.
So the only spot I have in your head on this show is to be a Barbarian. I'm not, what did you say? I can't be an analyst in this sport that grew out of the back of my car dealership, and I've watched more fights and been in this sport longer than half of the nuts on the microphone. I can't be an analyst. Okay, so all I can do up here is act like a lunatic, even though I call them all the time, and I'm right more times than you are.
It's helpful. It's helpful when you're a lunatic. Yes, I find it more entertaining, find it more organic and authentic. I don't know why we would pretend.
Yeah, it's we keep going back to the same thing. You think, it's funny. If I could dance, I'd been making $250,000, $500,000 a year dancing for those mullets at the car lot, but I can't because they're all scumbags. All of them, just like the scumbags in Kankakee, Illinois that I went and met with that we're going to do the Kankakee show, and just like scumbags that they are, they said one thing and did another. So I'm going to come up here so I can get a little bit of microphone time and be on your show with 500,000 people and act like a maniac because you think that's all I can do, but you'll give anybody an opportunity to do anything in the world but your bro that backs you through thick and thin? That's it? Well, Daddy, I'm not that guy, okay? I'm not that guy.
What did nickel mean earlier?
So if this is the end of the dog and pony show we've been running up here for 6 months, man, I'm good with that. But you got to come off this the only thing this guy can do is act like a lunatic. Man, I'm real. And the people have connected to me with this show because I am real. But goddamn, you want to act like I don't know more about this sport than Ariel effing Helwani, the guy that does the Jerry Springer of MMA? You want to act like I can't pick a fight in front of him? Luke Thomas, he just grabbed a microphone and started talking too, Daddy. Okay, I sound the way I walk. I sound the way I talk. I walk the way I walk. That's who I am. But don't act like that I don't know this sport, because that's irritating. That is goddamn irritating. I gave so many people an opportunity to run in this sport and back them and everything, and for you to sit up here and come up here and throw darts at your buddy, that's bullshit, man. And it ain't right. And if it ends today, it ends today. I don't fucking care. Now that's real shit, and that's a shoot. So whatever he does after this, I don't fucking care. Except we got to do that Ken Key show.
Did you compare your abilities a moment ago to that of Ariel Helwani?
Do I know as much about this sport as Ariel? Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Didn't you make a statement at the opening of this show that we then proved to be factually inaccurate? Didn't you get names of fighters wrong left and right that we have to correct? Now, you and I are saying the same thing, even though you're shouting about it, that people have connected to you because you are real. But to act as though I didn't help to bring that realness out by telling your real stories and getting you to open up about your life that is different than the norm, that's what the connection is. That's proving my point that the barbaric crazy Joel that you say I'm throwing stones at, they're interesting stories. In many ways, you're living a life that a lot of other people want to live. You're just confident enough to live a life of irresponsibility, but there's still something entertaining there. I feel like we're on the same page.
Nah, we ain't. We ain't even close.
Do you really think you're better at this than Ariel Helwani?
Yeah, 100%. That guy didn't do anything. What? Because I can't say everybody's name. That guy knows more about this sport than me. Hell no.
How are you defining no? How are you defining no about the sport?
All that guy knows what to do is stir the pot. Hey, you said this about this, and that guy said this about this. Man, these guys are going to fight anyway. Let them run.
Define knowing about the sport for me. Do you mean that you're able to look at two guys that are going to fight and then pick the winner? Or what do you mean know about the sport?
Everything. What don't I know about the sport?
That's what I'm asking you. What do you mean when you say you know about the sport? Like, historically, I would say that your fact checker is way off. I would say that you continually rewrite history. Why is that on?
I don't even know.
Would you like me to turn it off for you?
Go on, man. I'm ready to button this thing up. I don't even fucking care anymore. To tell you the truth, I really fucking don't. This whole fucking thing about let's go do these.
Ariel Helwani would not do that.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, man, you got me spun, and again, I don't care. I don't care if I ever come back. Now you want to? We put the minutes in, you know. We put the minutes in. You let these fucking people. They can throw stones at me. They can do whatever they want. I'm a fucking monkey. I can go be a monkey on my own. You know. I don't need you to run that shit back over and over and over again like the fucking opportunity of a motherfucking lifetime is happened up in here. You know, that door came open this much, and I kicked it in. So if that thing shuts, and then it shuts, man, I don't fucking care. I don't care. But for you to, then you want to debate this? Then you want to debate this? No, you actually know more about Ariel Helwani.
Well, that was a big statement. It was a big statement that you would be better at this than Ariel Helwani.
Okay. Whatever.
Isn't that a big statement, though?
I don't care. A big statement. I made it. But for you to say the only spot I have in here is to be a barbarian, that's an ignorant statement. That's an ignorant statement. For you to say I don't do any preparation, that's an ignorant statement. So
I didn't make that statement.
You're the one that controls all of this. So,
but I didn't make that statement.
Absolutely, you did.
I haven't used the word preparation today.
Yeah. Anyway, man, let's go. Let's go. So the answer to your question is, what happens when we leave this place hot? Well, you're going to find out today, because this is probably the only time I've been this hot.
So some news came out from the New York State Athletic Commission. There was a timekeeping. Can you see, though, where it would be irritating for me? That you walked out of a show one time after being factually incorrect. You left the door open. You interrupted Lars. You threw your headphones down. You then came back. You cut a promo, and now you're sitting in the corner playing on your phone, but the show's still going. Is there a part of you where you could sympathize with me as the guy who is responsible for producing X amount of content? And he does bring in a guy, because the guy's a character that he does not want to be known as. He's already walked out of one show. He screamed at 3 segments of the part he participated in, even though he was factually incorrect, and now he's in the corner playing on his phone. I mean, could you see where that would be irritating? And then you would compare yourself to a professional like Ariel. In fairness, if we're being real objective here.
There's your rope. I ran with it. Run as far as you want with it, brother. Run as far as you want with it. My flag's up. The white flag's up. Run. Go have fun.